The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour.
ChatGPT did become the world's most downloaded non-gaming app.
Literally the job of everyone in government to address the media and the public.
What are your thoughts, audience? What are your thoughts on Zandy Silva as the deputy PLP leader?
A community that can't feed itself is a community that's doomed.
What you may not know, though, is that Bermuda, we have a connection with Epstein, too.
Things that people are doing right, the youth are doing right, that is not being advertised enough.
When you see your access to U.S. dollars disappear, that's when you have a problem.
You've got a town in the UK with a similar sized population. This place absolutely outshines it.
It's Tuesday, the 9th day of June, 2026. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. This is the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, HSBC, Bermuda Medical House, Lindos, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 107.5 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. I'm Jamal Hartman. How's everyone feeling today? Happy Tuesday to you. You've made it to the second day of the traditional work week. Folks, we're getting closer to National Heroes Weekend. Is it this weekend? It's this weekend, right? Yeah. I think Heroes Weekend. So, well, some of you call it Carnival Weekend, but yeah. Anybody any of you participate at costumes and dance in the carnival and stuff? I don't know how I feel about it. I'm still I love Carnival. I've loved Carnival since it began in 2015. I don't like it being on Heroes Weekend. I've said that from the beginning. I still hold a grudge against the Bermuda Tourism Authority for supporting Bermuda Carnival in June. I don't care about the rest of the Carnival calendar throughout the world or region. I believe that it should have been held in April. And I stand by that. You don't support something in the summer months like that as per the BTA's own CSMO at the time when it came to Cup Match. Even though right after that they had the America's Cup in June, right? But anyway, all that to say, I would love to see in Heroes Weekend standalone so that we don't do what happens in most instances, lose focus of what should be important at the forefront. Anyway, folks, well, we were supposed to have the Bermuda Police Service on today. Looks like we will have to reschedule because we have not seen them yet. So we'll reschedule that, but we've got a good discussion for you anyway. So greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome, well, we're going to have a conversation. We're not going to welcome them. And we're going to be discussing the role we play. The role we play and helping solve crimes and prevent crimes. The daily play, we're going to go back over the keys to the past. Yeah, we're going to do that. And you all can shout out your answers today. All right. We'll give you the answer to that. Big up to Curb for this partnership. You all have responded. You all are finding the clues, and I love it. Don't forget to do us a favor. If you haven't already, make sure you go to thedailyhour.com and subscribe on the website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right. We've got James Burgess says, good morning to the Daily Hour team show I'm watching. We've got Claire Warner says, good morning, Jamal. Good morning, Bermuda. Feeling blessed. You've got Polly Rich. So true, Jamal. It's an insult to our national heroes. Morning. And Suzanne Ingham says, good morning, Jamal. I'm sorry for being late. I was called away by a coworker. I'm excited to be in the TDH house. Thank you, Jamal. I just love your show, and we love you too. Thank you all. Appreciate you all rocking with us once again. But yeah, Polly Rich, to your point, yeah, I think Carnival on Heroes Weekend is an insult, and it should have never been allowed to happen or been supported for this weekend. Again, big fan of Carnival. I love it. I love all the local artists. Like, I just love to see it. I love how it's grown. What I don't love is when it takes place. And I stand by that then. I stood by it then, and I stand by that today. All right, folks. We've got to have a discussion. We were going to have the Bermuda Police Service on today. Unfortunately, that doesn't look like it's going to happen, but we can have an important discussion without them. You know, as beautiful as Bermuda is, and as friendly as our people can be, we have not been immune to serious crime over the last 2 decades. In many ways, what's been just as concerning as the rise in certain crimes is our ability to solve them. You see, time and time again, we've seen incidents occur, appeals for information made, and families left searching for answers. What's made like Bermuda unique is that we're a small community. Most of us are connected in some way. We know each other's families. We work together. We went to school together. And for generations, there was an understanding that if something happened in the community, people would step forward to help. Today, many would argue that a culture of silence has emerged. Some call it minding your business. Others call it looking the other way. Whatever term is used, the result is often the same. Crimes happen, and people who may know something choose not to come forward. Now, to be fair, I don't think it's always as simple as people not caring. Some say it's fear of retaliation, fear of being labeled, fear that their safety or the safety of their loved ones could be put at risk. In a small island, these concerns cannot simply be dismissed. Others believe it has become a lack of empathy, that we've become so accustomed to hearing about crime that we've grown desensitized to it unless it directly impacts us or someone we know. Now, if that's true, that's a concern in itself because crime affects us all, whether we're directly involved or not. See, the reality is that preventing and solving crime requires a community effort. Police have a role to play. Government has a role to play. Schools, churches, families, and community organizations all have a role to play. But ordinary citizens have a role to play as well. Now, at the same time, if we're asking people to come forward, we also have to be, honest. We have to have an honest conversation about protection. If fear is preventing people from speaking up, then how do we ensure witnesses are protected? How do we build trust that information can be shared safely? How do we create an environment where doing the right thing doesn't feel like putting yourself at risk? These are difficult questions, but they're necessary ones. Because while we often talk about reducing crime, solving crime, preventing crime, they're all closely connected. Communities where people trust one another and trust the system are often communities where criminals have fewer places to hide. All right. Here's your question for the morning. Your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express. What can we do as a community to help crime, right? To help prevent crime and help solve crime in Bermuda? What can we do as a community to help prevent crime and help solve crime in Bermuda? Think about it. Let us know. We'll come back after this break, but I'll also give you today's poll. All right? Stick with us.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Alrighty, welcome back. This is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Again, you heard the question, folks. What can we do as a community to help prevent crime and help solve crime? And here's your poll for the day. Here's your poll. Why do you think people don't come forward when they know something? Do you believe 1, fear of retaliation, 2, lack of empathy, 3, trust of the police, or 4, other? Let us know why you think people don't come forward when they know something. For those who are just tuning in, we're speaking about, again, the question of the morning is, what can we do as a community to help prevent crime and help solve crime in Bermuda? There's been a culture of silence, I guess, right? Now, here's the reality in Bermuda. Though to many, comparatively speaking, it remains one of the safest places in the region, serious crime has become a recurring concern over the last 2 decades. We've seen more gun murders, right? We've seen more gun crime, period. And these crimes have a lasting impact on families in our small community. And it's important for us to remember that every unsolved crime leaves victims and loved ones without closure or justice. It's been said that there's a culture of silence. Bermuda is a very small community, comparatively speaking. You know, again, I've quoted him before. I think it was Desmond Crockle, who has been on this show. He's a big advocate in the community against violence. He ran as a candidate for the FDN. But I believe it was him who said it. Bermudians don't like to talk, but we love to gossip. See, when the police need our help, when our community needs us to talk, we don't talk, but we'll gossip about things. That's on us. This culture of silence, many investigations have included police appeals for witnesses and information. Yet too often, information doesn't seem to come forward. Why? Has minding our business about serious crime become harmful in certain situations? And here's one of the most interesting things all of us should consider. At what point does our silence become enabling? At what point does our silence enable the behavior of those who are committing these acts? Think about that. This is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Again, audience, what can we do as a community to help prevent crime and help solve crime in Bermuda? What do you think we can do? The community showed up. Last year, Bermuda Day is one of the best examples where there were 2 people riding around on a bike in dark clothing. Members of the community thought something looks off, and they notified the police, and the police pulled them over and found a knife on one of the individuals. That's what's needed to help prevent crime. You know, there's this saying in the United States, see something, say something, right? I've known of things that have happened in Bermuda. And people were literally in fear, like, oh, no, I don't want to have to go to court. There are people who don't want to hand over their Ring camera footage because they don't want anyone to know what house captured the act. How do we get around this stuff? How do we fix this stuff? Because for every unsolved crime, there is someone walking the streets who literally got away with something. That should scare you more. Audience, let us know the poll. Again, the poll question, why do you think people don't come forward when they know something? And you can hit 1 for fear of retaliation, 2 for lack of empathy, 3 for lack of trust of the police, or 4 other. And just let us know if it's other, let us know your thoughts. Again, this is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. What can we do as a community to help prevent crime and help solve crime in Bermuda? Dr. Anthony Richardson says, there is a fear of retaliation due to fears of police tipping off criminals. Says, does Crime Stoppers scrub tips to prevent police officers themselves tipping off criminals? Well, that would be dangerous. That would be very dangerous. I would hope that that's just rumor, but I'm not going to say that you're not telling the truth, Dr. Anthony Richardson. I would really hope that's not the case. Because that would mean that on the poll, number 3 would be a lack of trust of the police. Now, with serious crimes like this, that should be the one organization who everyone trusts to protect them, right? Again, what are your thoughts, audience? What can we do as a community to help prevent and help solve crime in Bermuda? What can we do? What can we do? And let us know the poll answer. Why do you think people don't come forward when they know something? Why do you think people don't come forward? Now, I want to go through some other stuff. So why do people not come forward? Now, I've heard fear of retaliation. You know, there was this thing in the United States back in the 80s and 90s that, you know, people who came forward were snitches. And there was a fear of being called a snitch. There are people who say a lack of confidence in the justice system. There are people who are concerned that confidentiality won't be maintained. They don't trust calling Crime Stoppers. Like, they just don't trust. Like, well, how are they going to transfer the money to me without knowing my name? And then someone who works at the bank will see where the money came from. I've heard it all. Why don't people come forward? Personal relationships with those involved. Although some people may be so far removed from that sort of crime, one of their loved ones may be involved, and they don't want to see their loved one get in trouble. Another one why people don't come forward, the empathy we mentioned, a belief that it's simply not my problem. It's dangerous. Honestly, folks, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's actually sickening dangerous. Your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. What can we do as a community to help prevent crime and help solve crime in Bermuda? What can we do? We've got Suzanne Ingham says, be more aware of what's going on around you. Don't be afraid to ask what's going on. Call BPS or intervene, especially in your neighborhood. Silence weakens our community equals fear. Who wants to live in fear? Not me. You know, I want to address a few things that Suzanne says here, right? Don't be afraid to ask what's going on. There was a time that was okay to do. But now, I guarantee you, if I ask you by a show of hands audience, are you just going to randomly ask some guys who look like they're up to no good what's going on? I was watching a parade on Bermuda Day. And these young fellas who probably last time I saw them were like innocent young children, 3 or 4 years old, right? Now early 20s, walking around with the angry face, and they got the bottles in their hand and the spliff. Oh, by the way, a spliff's a joint, like something to smoke. In the other hand, and just looking mad at the world like somebody did something wrong to them. Suzanne, with all due respect, most people are not going to want to ask those kind of people what's going on, right? Call BPS. Some people feel, well, I call the police, they're going to come, people are going to know who called them, and then the police just say, look, just keep it down and leave. And now there's more problems, right? And then you say intervene. I don't disagree, but it's a different level of person today that we're dealing with. You know, we have a level of criminal. Just yesterday or day before, the Bermuda Police Service put out a press release seeking information on the murder of mother Deontay Trim from a few years ago, right? The level of criminal we have today in Bermuda will gun down a mother. So expecting people to intervene is kind of tough. It's kind of tough. I agree with you that silence weakens our community. It does weaken our community. And no, I don't think anyone wants to live in fear. But the truth is, we do. And some people feel like it's our only option. Unfortunate. Audience, let us know again. Keep your answers coming. What can we do as a community to help prevent crime and help solve crime in Bermuda? And also, why do you think people don't come forward when they know something? 1, for fear of retaliation. 2, for lack of empathy. 3, for trust of the police. And 4, for other. We've got James Burgess says the ripple effect. Says the ripple effect. Okay. We've got Suzanne Ingram says, I think fear is the biggest enemy. Fear needs to be like scars, reveal the secrets. Just my opinion, face the fear. I agree. But I also understand why people are afraid, why people don't. Stacey Medeiros says, police can't protect people unless the potential witness goes into witness protection abroad. Not everyone is willing to go through all that. Yeah. The truth is, people don't necessarily want to move to the United Kingdom or the United States or Canada or the Caribbean. They don't want to leave Bermuda. They don't want to leave their home. There are people who literally just want to stay with their family and their friends. It's true. Folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. We'll give you the days of the year. Show some love to Titan, Express, and Secure. We'll continue the conversation, but keep your answers coming. Keep your answers coming. All right? Keep your comments. Keep everything coming. All right? Let's show some love to Titan, Express, and Secure. We'll keep the conversation going. What are your thoughts? We have a role to play. We have an important role to play.
The daily discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Titan Express delivers safe, professional, and reliable transportation and tours across the island. From island tours to cultural experiences, they set the standard. And Secure is your go-to for property management, waste management, and residential and commercial services. Visit securebda.com. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is their commitment to you.
All righty. Welcome back to the big show. So, folks, real quickly. So, days of the year, very interesting one today. I did not know that this was globally popular like this. And call me ignorant, call me less of a Bermudian. But it's International Dark and Stormy Day. Yeah. International Dark and Stormy Day kicks off with a nod to the bold cocktail, dark rum layered over fizzy ginger beer. This drink blends strong flavors in a tall glass that demands your attention. You'll sense its deep color and fizzy sparkle before you even take a sip. It feels like a celebration in your hand, a simple mix that speaks of rich taste and sharp refreshment. On this day, fans of the drink around the world celebrate how it brings people together. It gives drinkers a moment to pause, share stories, and enjoy a break from the ordinary. It honors a unique recipe that's trademarked and linked to seafaring tradition. Whether at home or at a bar, raising a glass means joining a community that loves this spirit blend and savors it a lively kick. All right, here we go. So here's a timeline of the Dark and Stormy, International Dark and Stormy Day, right? Early ginger beer emerges in Britain in c. 1800, right? Ginger beer develops in England as a fermented drink made from ginger, sugar, water, and a starter culture, becoming popular across Britain and its colonies as a refreshing, mildly alcoholic beverage. 1806, Gosling family arrives in Bermuda. Wine and spirits merchant James Gosling lands in Bermuda after a diverted voyage from England, laying the foundation for Gosling Brothers, which will become a prominent Bermudian rum house. 1860, Goslings begins selling dark rum in Bermuda. Gosling Brothers starts blending and selling its signature dark Bermuda rum in the mid-19th century, creating the rich style that later features in many local mixed drinks. Late 19th century, ginger beer spreads throughout the British Empire. Bottled ginger beer becomes a staple throughout the British Empire, including naval ports and colonies, where it's both consumed as a temperance drink and as a mixer with alcoholic spirits. So, how to celebrate International Dark and Stormy Day? Host a dark and stormy night. Sample a ready-to-drink can. Try a dark and stormy treat. Visit a participating bar. Experiment with food pairings. Share your rum storm on social media. Share your storm on social media. And learn or teach the signature mix. Well, I did not know that there was an International Dark and Stormy Day. So I want to ask you all, be honest. Do you like dark and stormies? So I'll share this with you before we take our break. I used to be a dark and stormy guy. I think a lot of it had to do with working in tourism. But the amount of sugar in those drinks, man, oh my goodness. I prefer a light and stormy. Yeah. That means light or sugar-free ginger beer over ice. That's my preferred drink. Yeah. Charles is asking, is there a non-alcoholic dark and stormy? Yeah. The sugar-free one over ice. That's mine. Suzanne Ingham says, it's not dark and stormy out there yet, Jamel. I think they should create a virgin dark and stormy, Charles. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to continue the conversation because a lot of you still have comments that I have to get through. So we'll continue the conversation in after this break, where the question we're asking this morning is, what can we do as a community to help prevent crime and help solve crime in Bermuda? So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break. Stick with us.
Guess what? Bermuda's most popular game is back. That's right, Shoe Buy is back in stores. But wait, there's more. The brand new Shoe Buy Summer Edition is here too. Bring the laughs, the vibes, the friendly chaos to your barbecues and summer get-togethers with Bermuda's favorite game. Don't miss your chance to get yours. Visit BermudaTrivia.com and follow Bermuda Trivia on social media to learn more.
One Lucky Bucks in the summer edition has a golden ticket with the chance to win a grand prize courtesy of One Communications.
Hi there, welcome to Medical House. We're located at number 6 Bakery Lane. I can't wait to show you all of the great stuff that we carry. Come on inside, let's see. Long days, long shifts, you no longer have to endure comfortable underwear. Designed by nurses, we now offer premium undergarments by Swoop that are unique, fun, comfortable, and functional. The only underwear you'll ever want to wear. Who says high-quality functional products can be stylish and comfortable at the same time?
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast, so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It, freshness at your doorstep, delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
What lasts isn't what you buy, but what it becomes. With the HSBC MasterCard credit card, every spend quietly adds to a story shaped by intention and offers what matters most. Support that meets you where you are. Protection that preserves what you choose. Confidence for the unexpected. Peace of mind wherever your story leads. Start your next chapter. Use your card today. HSBC is licensed to conduct banking and investment business by the Bermuda Monetary Authority.
I know you want to come get some. Playing around. Playing around. Got this. I got it, no doubt.
Ever taken medication and thought, why is this hitting me so hard? Or why isn't this doing anything at all? Here's something you may not know. Your body processes medication the same way it needs to process food, using enzymes. And these enzymes metabolize medication so it can be converted into its useful form or removed from your body. Pharmacogenetics looks at how your DNA influences the way your body metabolizes or breaks down medications. It helps explain why a drug that works well for one person causes side effects in another and barely works at all for someone else. That means the same pill at the same dose can feel very different from one person to the next. It's not about blame, it's not about doing something wrong, it's simply biology. And once you know what works best for you, medication decisions stop being guesswork and start becoming personalized.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Thank you all for rocking with us so far. Jamel Hartman here. This is the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, HSBC, Bermuda Medical House, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 107.5 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. Folks, do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. We'll continue the conversation. You all on that rum stuff. Headline Stevenson Swan says, gross, I do not like rum. So it's International Dark and Stormy Day, and we apparently are not all fans of dark and stormy. Suzanne Ingham says, no, I don't drink. I used to drink black rum from the bottle. Nah, I don't drink at all. Ooh, from the bottle. That would make me stop as well. Well, I don't drink either. I go for a light and stormy these days, folks. So there is no non-alcoholic rum, Charles. Well, you're telling the truth, but I mean, we thought there was no non-alcoholic beer until, well, there was, James Burtis. But I feel you. All right, audience, let's get back to the question of the morning. I'm going to get through your responses and your comments. But the question of the morning, what can we do as a community to help prevent and solve crime in Bermuda? What can we do? And the poll question is very simple. Why do you think people don't come forward when they know something? Why do you think people don't come forward when they know something? We've got Dr. Anthony Richardson says a combination of 1 and 3 equals 4 on this survey. There are people who want to come forward, but fear police will tip off criminals. That would be a big problem. That would be a big problem. I hope that that's rumor more than anything. I would hope so. I just want to be naive sometimes. You don't want to believe certain things. So I want to be naive on that one, Dr. Anthony Richardson. Charles H. Jeffers II says, I believe many of the potential reasons listed are due to a bigger problem where we have lost our sense of community. We care about our family and not our neighbors. Most don't even know our neighbors. You know what? That's true. That's very true. There was a time you knew everyone in your neighborhood, right? If I asked you all, do you know most of your neighbors today? Very few would say yes. Now, neighborhoods have changed, right? They have changed. Demographics have changed. And with those changes come different cultural traditions where people kind of stick to their own groups, right? But that cannot be not seen. We have to see that for what it is, Charles. I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. We care about our family, but not our neighbors. And I think for most people, the excuse is they won't care about people who they don't know. Interesting. Very interesting. What else, audience? What can we do as a community to help prevent crime and help solve crime in Bermuda? And why do you think people don't come forward? And if you're just rocking with us, just tuning in, we've been talking this morning about the police not receiving the help they need from the community to help solve crimes. Now, before we went to break, we spoke about the fact people don't come forward and listed many reasons: fear of retaliation, being called a snitch, lack of confidence in the justice system, concerns that confidentiality won't be maintained, personal relationships with those involved, and empathy. But then there's someone mentioned witness protection, right? If fear is the main reason people stay silent, what protections exist to protect, like what's going to keep them safe and their families? Do people trust the protections that exist? Can Bermuda do more to protect witnesses? How do we encourage cooperation without putting people at risk? It's something that's said. Police in Bermuda are Bermudians too. They're our family. Let me repeat, they are our family. So who's to say they don't have family members involved? Right? They're our friends, they're our colleagues. Some of us may go to church or be part of different organizations with them. They're humans. Have conversations with local police. Get the answers you seek. But something that Stacey Madeira said earlier that can't be overlooked is there are people who don't want to have to leave Bermuda and be moved overseas for being a witness. Let's talk about community responsibility. I do believe, and this is not a Bermuda problem, this is a global problem. We think that crime prevention and solving crimes is a police thing. That's their job. Like we say, well, that's their job. No. Folks, in my opinion, if we were responsible, respectful, and good citizens, we wouldn't even or shouldn't need police. I always say in a fair and just world, there'd be no need for charity, and I'm a believer in that, right? When you think about why charities exist, right? In a fair and just world, there would be no need for charity. Well, I believe in a respectful and honest society, an educated society, a loving society. There would be no need, or should be no need, to police it. That's why when people are always saying we need more police, no, you're putting the onus on other people. Why don't we say we need better people in our society? We need to be better humans. Why don't we say that? Because accountability, we don't like that. Accountability? No, it's not because of us that this happened. It could never be because of us. Community responsibility. When it comes to crime prevention and solving crimes, it comes down to parents and schools and coaches, faith leaders, businesses, neighbors. Everyone has a role to play. Strong communities often prevent crime before police ever become involved. And what we're showing is we don't have a strong community. We're weak. Harsh, right? But that's what we're showing. Let's speak about prevention versus reaction. Prevention versus reaction. Are we spending enough time preventing crime? Think about our youth programs, or I'm going to use Care Learning Center. Are we supporting things like that? Enough. When I see, and this is not a criticism, but it's just something that all of us should think about. When I see sponsors for all these parties that are going on in Bermuda, right? When I see that, I sometimes do ask myself, would this money not be better spent? Instead of spending money into like a party where most people are getting drunk and driving crazy and stuff's going to happen, right? Wouldn't it make more sense for them to put that money into youth programs or mentorship or mental health support? Prevention versus reaction. We need youth programs, mentorship. And this is not to brag, but it's like, I don't get on this mic and just talk. That's one thing I don't do. I've coached in my beloved youth program at North Village. Today, I'm still active behind the scenes with my beloved North Village Community Club. I've mentored in a few programs, both in Bermuda and the United States. It's necessary. Now, I'm a believer. Again, remember, I go back to charity. In a fair and just world, there will be no need for charity. I think there are some incredible charities doing incredible things. But go back to fair and just. If we were better human beings, there would be no need for a SCARS. If we were better human beings, there would be no need for a KBB. If we were better human beings, there would be no need for CURB. If we were better human beings, there would be no need for PALS because people would have the support they need without having to go broke and feeling hopeless. We need to be better people, better citizens of the earth. So this is not just a crime problem, as you can see, based on where I've taken this conversation. But let's get back to the question, folks. What can we do as a community to help prevent crime and help solve crime in Bermuda? And the poll question, again, why do you think people don't come forward? when they know something? Why do you think people don't come forward? Let's go back through these comments. We've got Dr. Anthony Richardson says, Bermudians, unlike years gone by, now live in silos, limiting interaction and concern about others. This affects the willingness to speak up in regard to crime. I'd say that's true. I'd say that's true. It's unfortunate, but I would say that's my experience would say that's true. But Nicole Walker says, people think someone else will speak up. Yeah. Well, I think that goes to something I often say, you know, everyone's waiting for someone else to come and save us. We're all waiting for a savior. The reality is there's no one coming to save us. We can't live like that, folks. If all of us are waiting on someone to come and save us, then who's going to do it? Suzanne Ingham speaks of the Loyal Hill community. One thing I will say is they seem to get it right. At least as far as knowing your neighbors. And I'm not saying there aren't other neighborhoods in Bermuda who do it, but Loyal Hill stands out. Like, I guarantee you, most people in that neighborhood know one another. I mean, come on, who else has a Bermuda Day parade on their own? But simple things like that keep communities together, right? Suzanne Ingham goes on to say, that's what I loved about community police. We got to know each other. James Burgess says, if you speak out, you become earmarked for spilling beans. Yeah, that's where I was talking about, the folks talking about being a snitch. Right? Hedeline Stevenson Swan says, fear due to lack of trust in the community and the police force. I just don't like that for Bermuda. None of us should like this for Bermuda. It's bad for Bermuda. Now, you may say, so Jamal, if you see something, are you going to say something? Yeah. I've done it. For me, it's not snitching. It's helping. It's helping. And I'm a believer that, you know, that's old saying, be the change you want to see. I don't think a lot of us really apply that to our lives. It's so much easier standing on the sidelines and complaining and having conversations like this. It is. But solving problems, man. I feel like we've developed this culture of someone will do it. Why not let that someone be you? Let's talk about trust, because this keeps coming up. We must be honest. People are more likely to cooperate when they trust institutions, right? Like, we have these conversations on a regular basis. You all engage. And I say to you every day, thank you for trusting this platform. I say it to our guests who come on. Thanks for trusting our platform. We have to figure out a way to strengthen trust between the community and law enforcement. We need to figure out a way to make people feel comfortable coming forward. It's easy to chastise people for not coming forward. But there's also the other side. They need to feel comfortable. They need to trust. But it's a few more questions that all of us need to ask ourselves. And you can ask your friends today, you can ask your colleagues at work, your bosses, your employees, your children, just somebody in passing. Ask some questions today. What kind of Bermuda do you want? Ask someone today. I challenge you to ask someone today. What kind of Bermuda do you want? I guarantee you, it's not one where people look the other way. But ask someone that. Because I guarantee you the kind of Bermuda that each person wants, they're probably not contributing to it. So if we want a safer Bermuda, then there's work that all of us need to do. And if fear is what's keeping us from doing that, then we need to have some different conversations. I echo James Burgess in saying we don't need a fearful Bermuda. We need a courageous Bermuda. Stacey Medeiros, in reference to Loyal Hill, says Loyal Hill is a group of mostly old families who have been there for generations. Indeed. And that makes a difference, right? It's a neighborhood where you probably haven't seen as much change demographic-wise. Dr. Anthony Richardson asked a question. Are we of the view that police officers in Bermuda do not engage in gossip, leak information? I want to be naive. Maybe I'm being naive, Dr. Anthony Richardson. Maybe I have too much trust in the system. I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe. Now, there's always going to be rumors and talk. I don't want to believe that, but I'm not saying that that's not true. I would hate to believe that. But it would be foolish of me to sit here and say that, oh, you're lying. That's not true. This doesn't happen. Because at the end of the day, I tell people all the time, we're human beings. And as humans, I put nothing past the next. Folks, yes or no? This a yes or no? Do you think people trust the justice system? Yes or no? Just a quick yes or no from everyone tuned in right now. Do you believe people trust the justice system? Yes or no? And when I say the justice system, we had last summer the deputy DPP on, and we spoke about there were 2 cases that were overturned. We've seen many cases where people have gone before the courts and been found not guilty. And there are people who have said, what's the point? They're not going to get convicted. Yes or no? Do you believe people trust the justice system? Just a yes or no. Keep them coming. I need everyone who's tuned in right now. Just a yes or no. Everyone who's tuned in, a yes or no. Do you believe people trust the justice system? YES or NO? Let us know. We've got a no from Heatherleen Stevenson Swan. We've got a no from Dr. Anthony Richardson. We've got a no trust, Suzanne Ingham. We've got a no from Polly Rich. We've got a no from Nicole Walker. We've got a no from Lydia Simmons. There's not a yes in sight, huh? Not a yes in sight. We've got a no from Nicole Painter. Not a yes in sight. That would concern me. It should concern us all. Emily Gail Dill says no. So if we believe that people don't trust the justice system, what do we do to change that? Folks, we'll take our final break. We'll come back, wrap it up, and we've got the daily play for you. Someone found it. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
Children love to play and have fun, and they love gifts even more, especially ones that they can enjoy and learn from. With Bermuda Trivia Coloring Books, kids can explore the island while they color, learn, and create. The perfect activity for fun and learning together. Available now.
Visit BermudaTrivia.com and follow Bermuda Trivia on your favorite social media platforms to learn more.
For over 70 years, Bermuda Pest Control has been protecting homes and businesses island-wide. We offer a full suite of services, including rodent control, termite fumigation, and general insect control and maintenance. Our team of experts will quickly and efficiently eliminate any pest problem you may have. With Bermuda Pest Control, you can enjoy a pest-free home in no time. We're committed to providing fast, reliable, and solution-driven services for our customers. It's what we've been doing since 1952. Call Bermuda Pest Control today and say goodbye to pests for good.
Dreaming of expanding your business? With BDC's Loan Guarantee Program, we support your ambitions. Get up to 75% guarantee on bank or credit union loans up to $300,000. Just your vision and our support. Apply today and unlock new business opportunities. BDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
Bermuda, there's nothing like a home-cooked meal, especially when you can feed the whole family without stretching your wallet. With the affordable Bermuda basket, you'll find savings on everyday staples like rice, chicken, corn, and more. Everything you need to make a good meal for less. Shop the Bermuda basket at Lindo's, Marketplace, the Garden Market, and the English Market. Visit costofliving.gov.bm to see the full list of goods and start planning your meals. This is a message from the Ministry of Home Affairs.
Life moves fast, and so can the unexpected. When you insure your home, you need to know that your insurance company has your back. At Friesenbrook, let one of our friendly and professional agents give you that peace of mind. Because when you are covered, you are confident. Call us at 296-3600 or visit friesenbrook.bm to learn more.
Guess what? Bermuda's most popular game is back. That's right, Shoe Buy is back in stores. But wait, there's more. The brand new Shoe Buy Summer Edition is here too. Bring the laughs, the vibes, the friendly chaos to your barbecues and summer get-togethers with Bermuda's favorite game. Don't miss your chance to get yours. Visit BermudaTrivia.com and follow Bermuda Trivia on social media to learn more.
One lucky box in the summer edition has a golden ticket with the chance to win a grand prize courtesy of One Communications.
All righty, welcome back to the big show. Thank you all for rocking with us today. Folks, do us a favor. If you've been rocking with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, X, or Instagram, do us that big favor right now. Hit the like button, the love button, the share button. Make sure everyone you know has access to these conversations. Why? Because we've got a holiday weekend coming up. It's not a time to mind your business. Everyone has a role to play in policing our island, to keeping our island safe. So again, if you haven't, it costs you nothing. Just give us a like, love, follow, share the link with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Alrighty. So just want to give a big thanks to the BAC group of companies, HSBC, Bermuda Medical House, Linda's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 1075 for ensuring we can pump through the radio areas with these most important community conversations. It is time for the daily play, which is Keys to the Past today, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, are you ready, audience? It's Keys to the Past with Curb. Now, here's the clue. Gave it to you yesterday. All right, here we go. He crossed the sea to find his stage and challenge norms of race and age. From war to art, his path was bold, a story of courage still untold. Find where stories come alive and where his legacy still thrives. You ready? Did anyone know the answer to it? If you know the answer, tell us in the audience. Does anyone know the answer to that? I'll give you a hint. It was a Bermudian actor who went on to become a trailblazer in British film, television, and theater. At a time when roles for Black actors were limited and often stereotyped, he challenged expectations and built a respected international career. His journey from Bermuda to the global stage is a story of courage, talent, and breaking barriers. The answer is, in fact, Earl Cameron, WKD Lana, and Dr. Anthony Richardson. You are correct. So someone found this week's key. It makes me happy. Yes, you got it as well, Adeline and Nicole. You guys got it. You all are wonderful. You're all doing your thing. Now, to be wonderful and hit that like button, help us beat the algorithm. So everyone you know has access to these important community conversations because they are, in fact, important. It is our role as citizens to keep ourselves safe. Stacey Madeira said there will always be a level of fear in a society where people perceive the society to be unfair and unjust. Indeed. Absolutely. I want to say this in closing, in reference to our conversation this morning. We sometimes underestimate our own ability and our power. I always believe, and I will always believe, there's more good than evil in this world, and there's more good than evil among us. And if that's the case, we cannot allow evil to run circles around us. We have a role to play. And, when speaking about preventing crime, it goes a bit deeper than calling the police when you see something. It goes further back than that. Mentoring, coaching. If you're able and have time, find a way to reach out and offer what you may have to offer. The world is not fair. It's not just. It can be a scary place, a rough place, a tough place. And when it becomes that, instead of allowing our egos to try to take food off of our neighbor's table, let's try to ensure that we don't become greedy and we're offering what we can. I was bragging about my dad the other day and my stepmom and in their garden and how much they give away from their garden. That's the community love. That's what I came up around. When I was in Florida, neighbors having fruit trees and, not selling stuff, but giving stuff. Could they sell it? Maybe. But there are some people who say, you know what? I don't necessarily need this dollar, but why not give what I can to my friends, my community, my family, my colleagues? We are the solution to the problems we face, folks. We are the solution to the problems that we face. All right, let me give you some daily inspiration. Let me see. Let me pick up let's see what page it lands on. No, we're not going to do that one. Nope, we're not going to do that one. I can't give you a Clarence Thomas quote after what we've been discussing today. That just wouldn't make sense. We're not going to do that. I like this one from Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan said, talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence win championships. I liken that to this morning's conversation. The police can make arrest, but it takes teamwork to get a conviction. I'll leave you with that today. All right, folks, do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, HSBC, Bermuda, Medical House, Linda's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 1075 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio areas with these most important community conversations. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making this part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are is out. Peace.